What is up, guys, and welcome back to Cozy Talks. If you haven't already, check out our last episode of the recap on UFC 325, Volkanovski versus Lopez. But this week, we got a new event. And it is Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira.
hmm
I am excited for this one. I think this should be a pretty good card. How do you feel about it, Joe?
Yeah, I feel good. It's going to be an Apex card, first Apex card of the year. It's going to be taking place on Paramount again. All fights will be on Paramount, and this is also going to be 5 p.m. Eastern time start. So it's going to be another. It's going to be an early card, earliest card of the year. Yeah, I mean, I feel good about it. I think this fight has some sleeper fights on it. I think
Yep.
the main event itself is an interesting thing to discuss later. Um,
Yep.
But before we get into it, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share with some of your MMA buddies, some of your casual friends who think they know a thing or two, they think Sean O'Malley would beat Robert Whitaker. Uh, and with that being said, though, let's get into it. Let's look at the card of this week. So, before we go into our breakdowns, we will be doing our quick picks, saying our pick for each fight, and then we'll follow it up with a breakdown on each fight, talking about our reasoning, and yeah. So, first fight of the night, Priscilla Cachoeira, Zombie Girl versus Claudia Sygula. I think I'm going to take the shot on the dog here and go on the Zombie Girl. She's fought.
Yeah, I agree
She's
with
fought
you.
some solid fighters. Muin Gafurov versus Jacob Wiklacz. I'm taking Wiklacz.
I'm taking Jacob Wiklacz.
Yep. Kong Wang versus Eduardo Moura. Kong Wang.
I'm gonna go with Kong Wayne, and we'll tell it. I have good reasoning. We'll go into that later.
All right. Next one. Saeed Nurmagomedov versus Javid Basharat. Going with Basharat.
I kind of feel the same, but I might have to go with Saeed here.
Okay. Next fight, we got a fighting nerd, Bruna Brazil versus Ketlin Souza. I think I'm gonna go on Bruna Brazil. This feels like a 50-50 low key.
I got Bruna Brazil winning.
Mm-hmm. Next fight, Alex Morono versus Daniil Donchenko, the Ultimate Fighter winner of the most recent season. I am going to be taking Daniil Donchenko.
I got Donchenko as well. He got nasty Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm. Next fight, kicking off our main card, we got Dustin Jacoby versus Julius Walker. I'm taking Juicebox Walker here.
Taking Julius Walker as well.
All right. Next fight, we get Gene Matsumoto versus the other Basharat brother. That's 14-0. Give me Gene. Give me Gene on upset. He's 17-1. I think he's gonna take that O. That O's gotta go.
I got Gene Matsumoto as well winning that.
Next fight, we get Striker's Delight. Get Mikhail Oleksiejczuk versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Give me Mikhail Oleksiejczuk.
I got McCall as well.
Next fight, we get the heavyweight blanket, the big heavy boy versus Ribzon Kuniev. Give me Kuniev. That's just because I'm on hate watch for Almeida.
I think Kuniev can get it done as well.
Yep. Next fight, we get my sweet prince Kyoji Horiguchi versus Amir Albazi. Give me Horiguchi.
I got Kyoji Horiguchi as well.
And then the main event, Mario Bautista versus Vinicius Oliveira. Give me the underdog, Vinicius Oliveira.
I like it. I like it a lot. And that's why my pick in here is going to be lock dog Vinicius Oliveira as well. I think he can get it done.
All right. So now that we got our picks, now we'll head into our breakdowns and kind of give you guys a quick breakdown on some of these fighters. Some of these fights that some of us may not be super into, we'll try and give you guys a little bit more of a quicker recap and not get super deep into it. This might be one of those. Zombie Girl versus Claudia Sygula. You got Claudia Sygula who's 7-2 versus Priscilla Cachoeira, who is 13-7, lost 3 of her last 5. But I think some of her competition has been pretty stiff. She fought Miranda Maverick, lost to Jasmine Jasovicius, and lost to Jocelyn Edwards. 3 girls that are all in the top 15 for bantamweight. She beat Josiane Nunez, who at the time was kind of on a bit of a slump, but she actually is one of the more solid prospects for the bantamweight. And she beat Ariane Lipsky, who is also another solid prospect. Priscilla has, pretty sure she has quite a few knockouts on her record. 13-7, has 8 knockouts. Claudia Sygula, she's kind of she's not super good at one thing. She's kind of decent at the wrestling and kind of decent at the striking. Nothing very impressive about her. She does have a 10-year gap on her, and from some of the stats that we've seen, usually when a gap's that big, they tend to have a bit more success just because youth wins in the fighting industry most, like 90% of the time. And she fights for American Top Team, so that's kind of one of the things she has going for her. Obviously, we're taking a shot on the dog here, and it's kind of just my lean that I think Cachoeira, her being Zombie Girl, she does take a lot of damage in her fights, but it's like I said, she's only lost to some really good girls. Claudia Sygula, I don't think she's that great. I think Zombie Girl can catch her with something mean. She might be able to find the finish here, as long as she doesn't get caught on her back against Sygula. That's kind of the only way I see Sygula winning this is off control time and just being more of the lay and pray here. But yeah, give me Cachoeira by knockout or decision.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Sygula, on the other hand, we watched that fight with Irina Alexieva,
Yeah.
and
Mm.
yeah, I wouldn't. Sygula, whatever, however the fuck you say her last name, Sygula.
Mhm.
Not very impressive. That win wasn't very impressive to me at all. Irina, she's not an impressive fighter to beat
Yeah.
as well. Um, but prior to that, she got knocked out via ground and pound in round 2 by Melissa Mullins.
Melissa Mullins, I think, is fighting on this
And
card too.
I
Maybe.
don't think I think maybe, but that's another thing as well is that's not that Melissa Mullins, like it's not that loss didn't age well. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah, Sygula is only 27, but Cachoeira, like you were saying, she has kind of gotten the short end of the stick with some of these matchups, but her striking, I really like her striking. For the type of striker she is, I like the
Violent.
way she just kind of leaves her. I will say this, like, yeah, she kind of just leaves her chin out there. She leaves her head straight up, and she just swings her arm. But yeah, she's violent, and I think she could catch Sygula with something that, like, she catch Sygula off guard. Sygula
Yeah.
wouldn't expect it, and Cachoeira is just gonna fucking land a nasty one. And I agree with you. I think Cachoeira could win by possible decision or knockout.
All right. Moving up the prelim, we get Jacoby Wiklacz versus Muin Gafurov. I like the side of Wiklacz here. Yes, he's coming off a win against Patchy, and some could argue Patchy may have won it. I thought Wiklacz won it. I didn't really think there was much discussion on it. I think people were just kind of really hoping for Patchy Mix to bounce back,
Yeah,
which I think I may have been one of those people. But
yeah,
we're not going to talk about that because Patchy Mix is no longer in the UFC. He's probably one of the biggest busts in UFC history. So moving on. Muin Gafurov, he's one of those guys who is a very much like heavy wrestling background, but he also has some pretty decent kickboxing. That's one of the things he has going for him. I think I bet against him against Nakamura. Yeah, it was a Nakamura fight when he beat Rinya. That was a pretty big upset. Rinya was undefeated
yeah.
coming to that fight, and I thought Rinya's wrestling was going to get it done, but Gafurov really just showed him kind of levels to it. I don't really remember that fight being close, but Wiklacz, he is not someone you want to go to the ground with. I think if this thing gets to the ground, it's gonna be a problem for Gafurov. You can only do so much to try and stop a guy with some really like top tier elite jujitsu, and that's what Wiklacz brings here. Patchy Mix was another guy that had really good grappling. Wiklacz, he also has some decent striking on the feet. So if this thing touches a mat, give me Wiklacz by submission. To stay standing, I think Wiklacz could take this to the scorecards. So I think my pick here would be on Wiklacz to get a sever decision.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm a little 50-50 on this fight now too. I'm a little 50-50 on this fight because, you know, Gafurov, I didn't recognize him at first, but like now I'm
Hairy
starting to
back motherfucker.
now I'm starting to remember him. That motherfucker is a brawler.
Hmm.
He is a brawler for sure. I mean, pretty sure he has 10 knockouts and
Hmm.
hasn't been knocked out. He's only been finished once by submission. I think I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, both. I think this will be a very exciting fight. Regardless, both these guys are young. They're both 29. They're both. I wouldn't really say Gafurov. I mean, he's still a prospect, but he has a little bit more time in the UFC than Wiklacz does.
Hmm. Yeah, he made his debut against Mix. Came from KSW before that. KSW. Yeah.
Nah, I'm gonna go with Gafurov.
You're
I
already
pick.
you're already
I'm
pig
pick
flipping and
flipping.
it's Tuesday.
I'm pig flipping, and I'm gonna go Gafurov. I think Gafurov could possibly put him out. I think he could possibly put Wiklacz out. Um he
Okay.
like I said he's kind of a brawler, and I feel like
Who's he knocked out or who's he fought? Let's look. Got chucked about Nurmagomedov. That's a pretty bad loss. Nurmagomedov's on a bad slump.
yeah,
Lost to
that is
Castaneda.
that is a bad loss. John Castaneda when John Castaneda was decent.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple years ago he was decent. He was supposed to fight Mozart back in the day. Wow.
That wouldn't have gone well.
All right, so
Yeah,
you're on the Gafurov knockout then, yeah?
I'm gonna pig flip, man. I'm gonna go Gafurov.
Okay. All right. Moving on to the next fight. Got another women's bout. Got Wang versus Eduarda Moura. When I first looked at this, and before I really did like any like tape study or anything, I was kind of on the Moura side of this. But then I started to think Wang's striking is really good. And her one loss, she kind of got caught the way Obanile got caught. She was looking really good on the feet and then gets clipped and dropped and choked out. Other than that, she's the striker's delight. She's just like who could you compare her to in the men's? Kind of like Piotr Jan. She's got very clean, but very good technical boxing. She's fast. She's got great kicks. And I think that's gonna be a problem for Moura. I think Moura is gonna try and wrestle her and try and kind of just really just lay on her. Not really get off any ground and pound. I think she's just gonna keep her down, try and ride it out. But Wang, I think she's just too fast. I think she honestly might be able to get a knockout here. It'd be a shocking knockout. I feel like, against Moura, who's 12-1, but Wang could do it. I think she's one of my more favorite women prospects. Um, I had money on her when she fought Gabriel Fernandez. She was a pretty big favorite. Obviously, I followed her up on the win against Brazil, and I had her against Delipsky. Um, I think she's fun. I like seeing a woman fighter that can strike as well as she does. So yeah, give me Wang by knockout or decision. It's probably gonna be a pretty heavy prop, but I like it a lot. I think she does get this one done.
Yeah, I got Kong Wayne winning this fight 100%. The knockout would be pretty nice to see, but I'm gonna say this: she lost to Gabby Fernandez,
Mm-hmm.
and then she went on to win two after that against against girls who are really similar to Gabby Fernandez.
Mm-hmm.
She gets a win off Bruna Brazil, gets a win against Irene Lipsky.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. And they're all Brazilian. And what is Eduardo Moura?
Brazilian.
She's Brazilian. Kong Wayne coming off that loss against Gabby Fernandez. I think she found something. She most definitely rewatched that fight and fixed it. 100% fixed it. I mean, yeah, like you were saying, she did get caught, but nah, I think she's gonna get another one done, and the knockout would be pretty nice to see.
Are you looking at the
Has Mora
prop on
been
it right now?
finished?
No, her one loss
No, I
was by
haven't.
decision to Josiane Nunez.
Hmm. I mean, Mora's tough. She is a tough fighter.
Mm.
So yeah, give me Kong Wayne. I think Kong Wayne can get it done.
All right. What we got in this next fight? We got Saeed Nurmagomedov and Javid Basharat. How you feeling on this one, Z? Who do you got?
No, I'm gonna go with Javid Basharat. Javid Basharat. How you gonna lose? How you gonna lose to fucking Bryce Mitchell in your home country? Yeah, I'm gonna go with Javid Basharat. I think Javid Basharat. I haven't really seen. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really seen a whole lot of Basharat.
We watched him get slept in Seattle by Ricky
He did
Simone.
get he did get slumped in Seattle. I know he has 6 wins by submission. I think Basharat will have the answers to Saeed's wrestling, but I think Basharat's going to be more technical with the striking. I think Basharat's striking is going to be more elite than Saeed's.
Yeah.
And I think that'll give him the advantage in the later rounds when Saeed's down, and unfortunately for these Dagestani guys, when they're down like that, the only answer that they know is to wrestle fuck. So I think Saeed's gonna look to he's gonna in the later rounds he's gonna look to try to wrestle Javid Basharat, but Basharat's gonna have all the answers for it. And I think Basharat's just gonna be on top of it. Honestly, he's gonna have the answers to everything, and I don't think Saeed's gonna be able to get anything going. But I don't see a finish going on there. So give me Javid Basharat on the scorecards.
Yeah, I agree with you. Both these guys are kind of in a slump right now. Nurmagomedov's lost 3 of his last 5. And he's lost to some guys that are on this card. You know, we can look over real quick. He lost to Bryce Mitchell, not on this card, but someone who made his debut at bantamweight. First fight at bantamweight, fights Saeed, and really just kind of put a wrestling clinic on him. Second fight, fought the main event. Vinicius Oliveira, lock dog, went to decision with him, but he lost it pretty decisively. Beats Muan Gafurov, who we just went over, by choke, and then he beat Jonathan Martinez, who is a great kickboxer.
They just added a fight
To what?
to the card.
Really? Just refresh it and it's just there?
Yeah, my tapology crashed, and then I reopened it, and they just added a fight. But
Let's
yeah,
look then.
it's right there.
Wow. Okay. So
Yeah, they just added a fight.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let us give you guys a fresh breakdown before I didn't even know this was here. So we'll add this into the TikTok. So yeah, with that being said, let's get into this real quick. Just instant lean. Who do you got? They don't even have they don't even have betting lines on this.
No, I got Nikolai.
Yeah, I think I'm rolling Veretennikov there. Give me Veretennikov by. Man, I don't even know. What would it be? Probably knockout. Veretennikov has quite a few knockouts on his record. Yeah, Nico Price. Yeah, give me Veretennikov by knockout.
Yeah, but your pick is Javid Basharat.
Yeah. Let's get back into that, guys. Sorry, that's pretty surprising. Okay,
that is surprising.
I've never had that happen.
I just looked up and it's just like, oh shit, was that there?
Yeah, so I got Basharat in this one. He like I said, his brother's fighting on this card. This brother's not as good, but you know, it's like we said, one of those things that happens. You kind of get caught with the knockout. Ricky Simone's not a guy known for knockouts, but he made Basharat take a nap in Seattle. Got him really good. That was his last time out, and so he hasn't fought in almost a year. Before that, lost to Ayman Zahabi. I'm guessing that was probably in Canada. Zahabi's got that fucking Canada buff. Whenever bro fights in Canada, he's undefeated. But I like Basharat. I like Basharat enough to strike well against Saeed, and kind of just keep a pace on Saeed. If there's wrestling to be had, I think Javid can do enough to kind of stymie it, maybe keep it standing. But if he gets taken down, I'm thinking he can get up quick enough, or even reverse positions. But yeah, I think this is really going to be a point fight match. I think this is going to be Javid on the scorecards, kind of like what you're saying. So give me Javid by decision. All right, next fight, another women's bout. Bruna Brazil of the Fighting Nerds. She's still at the Fighting Nerds, yeah. Oh, it's her
Yeah,
other.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and then Katlyn Souza. This is the one I felt was a coin flip. But I like Bruna Brazil enough. I think her jiu-jitsu is really really good. Katlyn Souza's lost 3 of her last 5. She lost to Pierre Rodriguez, who I don't even know who she is. I feel like I don't remember her. Lost Angela Hill on a split, and Angela Hill's 41. She was saying that she's looking really good, and then lost to Karina Silva by knee bar almost 3 years ago. I think Bruna Brazil is gonna edge this one out. I'm not sure I really like Bruna Brazil on the feet as much as I like Souza. Souza, look at the traps on her. She's built for power. But Bruna Brazil, I think if she can stay long, because I'm pretty sure she's gonna be the bigger fighter. Souza's really small. Yeah, 5'6" versus 5'3", 65.5-inch reach versus 63. I think Bruna Brazil, I think she can do enough to take advantage of Souza having to crash in, maybe get some trips, maybe getting on her back, and maybe controlling time, maybe even possibly locking up a sub, which would be really hard. Souza's really compact build. But crazier things have happened. I like Bruna Brazil enough. Coming out of the Fighting Nerds, they're pretty good at wrestling. They're pretty good at finding the little tricks that work. So yeah, give me Bruna Brazil by decision.
Yeah, I got Bruna Brazil in this one as well. I think she'll be way more technical. She'll be way more technical everywhere. Coming out of the Fighting Nerds, like you were talking about. Yeah, give me Bruna Brazil. Katlyn Souza, on the other hand, nah, there's not a whole lot to talk about in my opinion. Like I completely agree with you though. Like that. Or never mind. Let's move on.
All right, what do you got in this next one? How you feeling about it? I was just shocked that they added it midway through us talking about it.
Honestly, I got Nikolai, and I think it'll be a fucking snooze fest in my opinion. I think it'll be very boring. I think Nikolai might get like some type of like fucking boring finish. But either way, it is kind of crazy seeing that they added this to the card while we're talking about it.
Yeah.
But regardless though, I don't see a lot happening in this fight. I mean, Nikolai, yeah, he beat Francisco Prado. Like that's kind of impressive that he beat Francisco Prado. Nico Price, on the other hand, like, you beat Alex Morono,
who was also on this card.
Who's also on this card, but you beat Alex Morono in your last 5, and you gave fucking Robbie Lawler the dream retirement that every UFC fighter could want. Fucking walk off KO. If I were to go finish, I would go Nikolai. But either way, I think this shit's gonna be fucking boring. But I got Nikolai winning this.
Yeah, I agree with you. Nikolai Veretennikov's my pick. And the reason being is he's got pretty decent striking, but his gas tank is really my worry. That Punahele Soriano fight, I remember being kind of just a shit fight. Punahele we had by knockout, and it went to the scorecards, and it was kind of a shit fight. Nico Price lost 4 of his last 5, and 3 of those are by finish. He lost to Jacoby Smith by choke, and then he lost to Robbie Lawler by knockout, and before that lost to Phil Rowe by knockout. Also lost to Temba Garimbo by decision. Temba Garimbo's not a great fighter. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think Nikolai gets this done. I'm really curious how they're gonna put the line on this, because both these guys don't have great records. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's 13-7 and a guy who's 16-9.
36 years old.
I mean, it's pretty poo for UFC to put together a can fight here. But yeah, I agree with you. If there's gonna be a knockout in this fight, it has to be on the side of Veretennikov. Otherwise, I don't really know what we're gonna see here. Moving on though, featured prelim of the night, we got Alex Morono versus Daniil Donchenko, the guy who we said won Ultimate Fighter for the welterweight division. Won it pretty handedly over Senzenato. My pick in this one's Donchenko. I think it's gonna be pretty quick. I'm definitely taking Donchenko knockout prop here.
Yeah, 100%. Donchenko is currently sitting at a minus almost 600 heavy fucking favorite going into this fight. Morono is a plus 400 underdog. Morono just got chinned by a Carlos Leal before he let all the aura get to his head coming off of that crazy knockout streak he had. But yeah, give me Donchenko. Give me Donchenko by finish and probably even a first round finish. I mean, his Muay Thai, his striking that he displayed in that fight against Senzenato. So yeah, Rodrigo Senzenato. He is he's a phenomenal fucking striker. And for being only 24 years old, I am excited to see where this guy goes. He's 12-2 as well in his professional record. Yeah, this is most definitely kind of like I wouldn't necessarily say like a layup fight for, somebody who's coming off of a loss, but this is most definitely kind of like let's kind of boost you into popularity here a little bit by giving you a guy who's obviously on his way out. I mean, Morono is inactive. He's inactive since his last fight. 10 months since that knockout loss.
And Donchenko
What's gonna
just
happen
fought
if
4 months ago.
Yeah, he just fought 4 months ago, and he just finished his last opponent. What
Yeah.
happens if Morono gets bitched here again? If he gets fucking KO'd here again? Yeah, that's where I think about this fight. This is kind of a layup fight for Donchenko. It's kind of throw him into that crowd of popularity, get his name out there.
Yeah.
So I got Donchenko, and I think he could fucking get a first round finish. Other than that, Donchenko finish is probably favorited.
Yeah. Morono, the only thing he has going for him is he has some pretty solid submission grappling. But I mean, you're talking about Donchenko, who is he's the welterweight Fizia, bro. He's a big fast striker. I don't have a breakdown. You're good.
No. Click on Morono's name. Look at his recent grappling event. It's just result unknown.
Result unknown. Back in November. It's funny. Yeah. I mean, losing 4 of your last 5, and yeah, you're 35. You're probably on the back end of your contract. You're probably getting cut after this with with the loss, especially if it's another violent KO, back-to-back KOs like that. Yeah, who knows? You're probably done.
I mean, I'm gonna just say this real quick as well. Your wins in your last like 8 are against fucking cans. Court McGee, Tim Means, Matthew Selmsberger. I completely forgot about that guy. Mickey Gall. Yeah. Alex Morono, your time has come, bud.
Your time's come. All right, getting into the main card now. This is we didn't talk about the news, but this is a short notice fight. Julius Walker was supposed to fight Uran Sadibaldiev. Now we got Dustin Jacoby stepping in. I don't know how long the short notice is, but he wasn't the original scheduled bout. But let's get into it. Dustin Jacoby versus Juicebox Walker. My pick in this one's Juicebox. I think he could either find the submission or get a decision win. I think his win condition here is going to be heavy wrestling. Dustin Jacoby has kind of had the striker resume. He's only fought guys, and he's literally only fought guys that will stand and bang or will just strike with him. Julius Walker, on the other hand, Yes, I'm not very impressed with his fight as of late. You know, he had that bar fight with Cerquera where the fight not going the distance was like minus 1500 or whatever it was. We talked about it. It was in the Hernandez Delize card, and then he loses on a very close split in Seattle. Another kind of bar fight against Alonzo Menafield, uh, but that was a short notice fight. I will kind of give him that. And that's kind of tough competition. You're getting thrown straight into a top 15 fight. And then you're getting Dustin Jacoby, who's on a 2-fight win streak. One of those is against Petrino, who you could say is a wrestler, but he really doesn't seem like he wrestles a lot. He's kind of just a shit striker. And now he's in the heavyweight division, kind of just doing Petrino things. And then he beat Bruno Lopez. And Bruno Lopez is 14-1. Really? But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think Dustin Jacoby is gonna do well on the ground because I think Julius Walker is going to do that. Because Julius Walker does have a pretty good wrestling background. He does have 4 wins by knockout and 2 by sub. He's only been to the scorecards once or twice in his career, out of the 8 fights. Yeah, I think Walker's gonna probably just manhandle Jacoby here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I want to go with Julius Walker, but something is telling me, man. Something is telling me that Dustin Jacoby is gonna fucking bring it to Julius Walker.
Mm-hmm. He's the veteran. I mean, he's 37, about to be 38.
Yeah, that exactly. That's another thing as well. Is like, I don't know. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I think my pick on this fight is not going the distance. I'm just gonna say that.
Okay.
I don't think this fight could go the distance. It just makes me think, man, like what's gonna happen if Julius Walker can't get that position. He can't get that grappling position. Dustin Jacoby keeps slipping out of
Then
it.
he might gas out again.
And then all of a sudden we just see Julius Walker just trying to, that's all he see, because that's one thing. That is one thing that has become kind of a trend with these younger prospects. You know, there's dudes who aren't in that question, like Gene Matsumoto. You know, Gene Matsumoto, he's very well rounded. He has a game plan, but he can mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen a lot of these young prospects come into these fights with a very strong game plan, and it's very clear on what they want. What happens when that game plan doesn't work out for them? They tend to shit the bed. So what's going to happen when Julius Walker can't wrap up a single leg up against a cage? What's going to happen if he can't, you know, when Dustin Jacoby breaks out of his lock with his hands? What's going to happen when Julius Walker gasses out in the 3rd round and Dustin Jacoby is fucking walking him down? That right there is why it's kind of pulling me back. Cause yeah, Julius Walker, he's young, he's an up and coming dude. He has some finishes under his belt, but you know, I know you said I'm not too worried about these last 2 fights, but yeah, I'm kind of worried based off the last 2 fights as well. You know, you're not getting a vet who is a slouch. You know,
Yeah.
Dustin Jacoby, he's most definitely proven himself in these last few fights against, especially against that fight with Petrino. So, yeah, my pick in this fight is going to be not going to the judges' scorecards. Holy shit, that was a terrible voice crack, but this fight's not going to go this fight's not going to go the distance.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Run it back on the fight not going the distance on Julius Walker, Z. I see you. If it doesn't hit on the minus 1100, it's going to hit on the minus 500.
Okay, fine. Fuck it. I got Dustin Jacoby by knockout. I got fine. Fuck it. You push me off the edge.
What?
I got Dustin Jacoby.
I'm sorry.
I got Dustin Jacoby by knockout. And you know, if you want to be a little degenerate, Dustin Jacoby to win in round 3.
All right. Next fight up on the main card, we got Gene Matsumoto versus Farid Basharat. This one is going to be a lot closer than people think. And I think people are kind of not giving Gene Matsumoto the credit he deserves. He's 17-1. And yes, he's coming off of a split against Miles Johns, but I don't think it was a split. I thought Gene did enough to get it done. It was a pretty close fight, but I thought he did enough there. And he's coming off of a split against Rob Font, and even the split was close, man. He's coming off of 2 close fights there, right? Before Rob Font fought Brad Katona, handled Brad Katona, beat David Arquette by sub. I mean, he's a tough out. Gene Matsumoto has been cracked hard against Rob Font. He got cracked hard, but I mean, he's got a good chin on him. Freed Basharat on the other side. He's really slick in the striking department. He also has some really good wrestling. Has some subs under his belt. His last fight was against Chris Gutierrez, and I'm not mistaken, that wasn't in the Mexico card, was it? I don't think it was. But
No, it was Ankalaev and Pereira too.
Okay. Yeah.
UFC 320.
Okay. Yeah, free Basharat going into this fight with Gutierrez was definitely up on the scorecards. That third round got caught on his ass. Gutierrez was laying some shots on him, and it felt like Farid was kind of just in survival mode there. And if you're like that in a fight with Chris Gutierrez, who has, I mean, he has fought some good competition. Chris Gutierrez is kind of one of those guys that you will test up with the prospects. And Farid Basharat did pass the test. I mean, he beat him. But if you're having a hard time with Chris Gutierrez, what does that spell for you when you start climbing the ladder and you're getting guys like Gene Matsumoto, who has some really, really high level grappling, and he's also a pretty clean kickboxer. I don't know. I like the dog shot on this. I also like Gene a lot. And maybe that's where I'm going wrong here, is because I'm kind of laying into the fan bet a little bit, and that's kind of not really me hate watching on Basharat. It's more me just saying I like Gene enough to get it done here. I think Gene
Oh,
can get it done though on the scorecards.
I don't think it's because like we're fans of Matsumoto. I mean, it's literally on the paper right there. If we really want to go into it,
Mm-hmm.
we could go over Basharat's fucking record real quick. I mean, the Chris Gutierrez fight, yeah, that's that's a solid win against a battle hardened vet. But Gutierrez he was on his way out, in my opinion. Even though he's 34, he's already been there and done that. You know, Victor Hugo, that win against Victor Hugo. Who the fuck is Victor Hugo, dude? That ain't that good of a win, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like what there's not one fight you could point out from Basharat, one name that you could be like, yeah, that's a solid win. Besides his most recent one against Gutierrez. Damon Blackshear? No, Damon Blackshear just got fucking he yeah, exactly. He just lost to fucking Davy Grant.
Yeah.
Gene
Mm.
Matsumoto, on the other hand, look at his record. He's the younger fighter, and he's been getting the tougher fucking opponents. Rob Font fight was way closer than people think. Way closer, in my opinion. That was a fucking banger of a fight.
Mm-hmm.
But he lost, and honestly, that's not a bad loss though. That's not a bad loss.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're getting a fucking tough ass dude in Rob Font, and you take it to the scorecards. The fact that you even took it to the scorecards, being such a young prospect and fighting a hard, gritty vet like Rob Font, and a hard hitting vet like Rob Font,
Mm-hmm.
and you survived it. And then you go and you fight Miles Johns, who is another fucking vet, who is another journeyman, and you absolutely bitch him. Yeah, it could be one. It was like 1-1 going into the third, but going into that third, Gene Matsumoto was fucking taking off. He was
Mm-hmm.
taking off, and Miles Johns was trying to catch up,
Mm-hmm.
but Matsumoto was just on it. I think we're gonna see the same thing. I think we're really gonna see the same thing. I think Basharat's gonna be on top of it, but Matsumoto's gonna find it. He's gonna find it, and he's gonna beat the brakes off of Basharat, in my opinion.
Yeah, he can't fight pretty. I think Matsumoto's got to get reckless and use his Muay Thai.
Yeah.
I think I
Hey,
think I,
so
I
yeah,
think he's got to cut him up, put some damage on him.
yeah, my pick in that fight, I'm gonna go with the underdog. Maybe the lines move as we get further into the week, but as of now, Matsumoto is sitting as the underdog in this fight.
Hmm. All right, moving up to the next fight on the main card. Like I said, this is Striker's Delight. I don't see this one hitting the scorecards. I think this is a KO
No.
prop. Either way you swing it. So keep an eye for this on this week's cycle parlay out of me, because this will be mine for sure. We got Mikhail Oleksiejczuk versus Marc-Andre Barriault. Marc-Andre is a brawler. He doesn't fight pretty. He likes to get in and make it dirty. He's coming off of, I think his most recent loss was Shara, yeah? Gave Shara a bullet.
Yeah, by
Uh
decision.
that was a decision loss. That's right. I don't know why I keep picturing Shara knocked him out. But he did
It
get,
was close. It was close.
yeah, he did get brutally knocked out by Dustin Stoltzfus. I remember that. Beat Bruno
Yeah.
Silva, and that's where I thought maybe he was gonna, reverse his career trajectory. He was on a 3-fight losing streak there. Comes back, gets that, and then he comes back and loses a decision. All right, on the other side, Mikhail Oleksiejczuk, he's 2-0 since he's been fighting with the Fighting Nerds, and his brother just made it into the UFC. I think his love for the game's back. I think he's improved a lot since he's been in that camp. His wrestling's getting better. He's coming off of a win over Gerald Mearshart. Knocked him out. Gerald Mearshart is kind of a shell of himself nowadays. I think he's probably close to retiring. He might get one more fight to kind of just send him off. But Mikhail's looking good. Like I said, he's 2-0 in this camp. He's got some really clean boxing. He's definitely the more technical of the two here. And I think if Marc-Andre comes in and tries to blitz in, crash, and start swinging, I think McCall's going to catch him on a counter and drop him on his head.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think McCall gets this done by knockout. I think this is knockout either way. If you want to get on the Marc-Andre at the underdog price, you can, because he's the brawler. But I'll take my chances on the guy who's more technical and the cleaner boxer here on McCall.
Yeah. Maybe if Shar Bullet had 2 eyes, he'd be able to knock out Marc-Andre. I think McCall having 2 eyes in this fight, I think he's gonna be able to knock out Marc-Andre here. But before we get ahead of ourselves, Marc-Andre, he ain't no slouch, man.
Mm-mm.
Especially coming off of that war with Shara, Bullet. I do favor McCall, though. I do favor McCall getting the finish in this fight. And I agree with you. I think after that losing streak he had and moving over and training with the Fighting Nerds, it's kind of funny, too, because he did lose to Kyle. He did lose to Kyle Barallo. But now he's training with him.
Mm-hmm.
He's training with him. He's training with all those other dudes at Fighting Nerds. And he's coming off of two finishes, both by knockout. I think McCall could get it done again against Marc-Andre Barriault. I think this will be a banger of a fight. Like Joe was saying, I think the 100% this is going to be Striker's Delight, and McCall is going to be standing over Marc-Andre while Marc-Andre sleeps on the floor. That's my call for this. McCall by KO.
Okay. Next fight, we got heavyweights. We talked about this earlier. The heavyweight blanket, the heavyweight
I'm
hug
sorry,
fucker.
dude. I'm sorry, dude. I'm gonna cut you off. I am very, very, very disappointed with heavyweight fights this year. Besides Josh Hokic. Other than that, I am fucking disgusted every time I see a fucking heavyweight fight.
Mhm.
I am devastated that we have a heavyweight fight. I would rather take fucking 5 female fights in a row than fucking watching another heavyweight fucking snooze fest going to the decision. And I feel like this is exactly what we're gonna get. But I think Kuniev is gonna get his hand raised by the judges. And the reason why I say by the judges is because, like Joe was just saying, you get the fucking wet blanket, Jelton Almeida, who was so shocked that he lost to fucking Alexander Volkov after holding him on the ground for more than 10 minutes and not doing jack shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to get that out there real quick. I am very disappointed with heavyweight fights recently. But yeah, I honestly think this one's going to go to decision. I am tired. I am tired of seeing these fucking fat slobs get put up for fucking -1,000, -1,500 for fights not going the distance or for a finish to happen.
Mhm.
I got Kuniev to win by decision.
Okay. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think Almeida, his ground and pound is not present. He's definitely just a guy who, I mean, he's good at wrestling. Yes, he's great at wrestling because that's what he does. Everything else is kind of just not there. He's the heavyweight abuser of taking advantage of all these fat fucks who can't wrestle, and he'll lay on them. And sometimes he won't even get the decision. 22-4, and you're coming off a loss to Volkov. You had it by the nuts, dude. If you just fucking threw some strikes on the ground, you got the Torres Finney treatment against Valentine. Because you didn't do shit. You laid on Volkov and had to get stood up like 3 or 4 separate times, and you instantly shot and did the same fucking thing for a 3-round bout against Volkov, and you sold it. You had that fight in your fucking grasp. You were ready to go fight for the interim if you won. You probably you probably still would have not fought. I think Cyril Gane was already locked up by then, but still. And on the other side, you got Rizvan Kuniev, who is coming off a loss to Curtis Blades in his debut. They tried to make this fight at UFC Seattle over a year ago, fell through, and then it finally happened. How long ago was that? 7 months ago. Lost on a split, and probably could say that Kuniev won that fight. Kuniev looked really good. His striking's pretty good. He's a bigger guy. He comes in at the top of the weight class, 260. I think he's 265. But he was looking solid in the other promotion. Is he from PFL? Yeah, he was in the PFL. But I think he popped for drugs back then. And I think that's kind of what slowed down his coming over to the UFC. But he's good. He's got some good anti-wrestling. I mean, it's gonna be kind of hard to wrestle a guy who, is 265. But Almeida is pretty strong. I think his wrestling could maybe get there, but I think Kuniev can find his way back up. I think he's confident enough. He's one of Dagestan's only heavyweight fighters over here in the heavyweight division. So, you're one of the only hopes to get it done, bud. But yeah, I agree with Z here. I think Kuniev, if he doesn't find the knockout, I think he will be testing Almeida's chin. I think he will be taking it for a ride. If he doesn't get the knockout there, I think the decision is very live as well. On Tapology, of course, they're favoring Almeida decision. They're also favoring his submission because that's what Almeida does, is he wrestles a lot. But I think Kuniev can get it done. He's the guy who was booked on this. Almeida's one that's stepping on a short notice. Kuniev gets it done. Welcome to the top 5. Kuniev, you're probably going to be fighting Volkov or someone else very soon. Both these guys fought Curtis Blades. I will mention that for MMA math purposes. Almeida shot 9 takedowns or something like that, and he still lost, bro. Was it? No, it wasn't. It was round 1. It was one, and he fucking held onto his leg and got his fucking head beat in. Yeah. No, that's this fight, bro. I remember that fight. He fucking shot a takedown, was holding onto a single, and got his fucking head beat in because he wouldn't let go of the single. And then they just called it. People were like, what?
Yeah, because he's just fucking.
I remember this now, bro. No, yeah. Like I said, Ribson's my pick there. Anyway, moving into the co-main event. We got Amir Albazi, Kyoji Horiguchi. Z, what do you got here, bud?
I got Kyoji Horiguchi. I think he's gonna get in there and he's gonna get it done. Watching his last fight against Tagir, man, he's
him.
He's scary. There's a reason why his only loss in the UFC is against Demetrius Johnson. Even when he was out, I mean, he was fighting other dudes who were honestly really good until they touched the UFC. So before we get into that, I just want to say that. But yeah, he lost to Patchy Mix, he lost to Kaya Sakura, but those dudes outside of the UFC were like considered fucking legends. They were considered like Ilya and like Islam outside of the UFC. So, but other than that, his only loss in the UFC is against DJ. And Amir, I honestly, there's not a whole lot of impressiveness coming from Amir to be in this position that he's at.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he just fought Brandon Moreno, but Brandon Moreno kind of put belt to ass.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I don't really want to repeat it, but like this is what like AJ said from MMA experts. Other than that, what other fight can you say is like impressive on Amir Albazi's record? Kaikar France, that was in 2023. So I got Kyoji. I think Kyoji's gonna go in there. I think he's gonna be way faster than Amir Albazi is expecting. I think Kyoji can get in there and land some nasty shots and even take him down and hold top control and absolutely bitch him, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I got Kyoji winning this. I think there's a reason why he's a minus 300 favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the other thing about Albazi is he is always having to shake some of this ring rust. He's a very inactive fighter,
Yeah.
and it kind of comes with his story of having insane neck injuries. People were thinking that he was never maybe even going to walk again. He was never going to be fighting again. That was one thing that was for sure. But he made his way back, and that's kind of what they sold on this Moreno fight was his whole comeback story, and it was a boxing clinic, man. Moreno just took advantage of him for 5 rounds. Before that, he comes off a controversial split against Kai Kara. Before that, beat Alexander Costa 3 years ago. So you're talking about 3 fights, basically one fight every year. He's not active whatsoever. And yes, you can probably credit that to his neck injury. Maybe Kyoji Horiguchi is going to lock up that neck and give him more neck problems. Horiguchi is just a very fast, small guy in this flyweight division. I mean, when I saw him line up against Tagir, I was like, dude, this guy's fucking tiny. I'm kind of scared. But he kind of made me feel good about my pick because he was my pick in that fight against Tagir. And I think he's gonna do the same thing here. I think he's gonna wrestle really well against Amir. That's kind of what Amir's known for, is having some good body locks and good wrestling. Kyoji, I mean, he's got just a good wrestling. He's coming out of American Top Team, and that's they have a lot of guys who specialize in MMA wrestling. Kyoji, yeah, his only losses are to DJ, and that's obviously the goat of the flyweight division as it stands right now. I think he gets us done on the scorecards, but just because it's a 3-round fight, if this was a 5-rounder, I think Kyoji would probably get a finish. 3 round,
Yeah.
it's going to be cutting it close. I think we're looking at maybe a 30-27, if not a strong 29-28 for Kyoji in this one, and then he's going to be in title talks because Amir, I think, is ranked number 3 in UFC right now. He's still top 5, which is insane. Pretty sure. I can pull it up real quick before I really.
No, he's number 6.
Is he 6? Okay, yeah. I know he was somewhere up top.
Horiguchi is actually 8.
Is he 8 now? He went from unranked, beat Tagir, and got 8.
Yep.
All right. Yeah, I think with the win here, he's probably in that conversation for title shot or at least contender shot. Either give him a guy like Royval or give him a guy like who'd be another good fight for him. Tyra, give another guy who's got some really good wrestling. But actually, Tyra's gonna be fighting Van. I think they already kind of talked about that. Yeah. I think Royval would be fun. I think even Brandon Moreno would be a good one. Moreno's got a fight coming up soon, actually. So that could be one they're kind of eyeballing. These guys are both gonna be kind of on the same timeline. But yeah, all right, moving on to our main event. All right, guys, if you haven't already, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Really appreciate it. These videos, we're hoping educate you guys a lot. Our Tuesday videos are always just breakdowns, along with our picks. But Friday, if you guys watch our Fridays, that's where you'll start seeing us put our bets out and getting you guys set up for parlays. So these videos kind of get you to trust us. If you like our takes, go with our takes and hammer with us on Friday. But Friday, that's where you can kind of see the live lines and see where you want to be. So if there's anything you guys want to look at on Friday, now is the time to let us know in the comments what you'd like us to look at on Friday. If you guys have any ideas for things you want to look at, we can go over it on Friday as well, and show you guys what's up. But with that being said, let's get to the main event. Z, what do you got?
I got Vinicius Oliveira. I think Vinicius Oliveira could get it done in this fight. I even think he can I think he might even knock him out.
Hmm.
I really like Vinicius Oliveira. Been watching him since he fought with Sopaj and landed that fucking crazy flying knee on him. But other than that, Vinicius, he I really like his anti-wrestling that he has, but he has nasty fucking striking and he has some heavy power behind those punches as well. Um I think I think I think in this fight, I think it'll really hurt Bautista, honestly.
Hmm.
I think he'll hurt Bautista and he'll kind of have to figure out Bautista just a little bit, and then I think later on he'll eventually find a finish, in my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. In this fight, I'm on the same page as Z. I like Vinicius Oliveira. I like Vinicius Oliveira simply for the fact that he's just a really good athlete. He's one of those guys, kind of like Michael Morales, who is just a lot bigger than a lot of the guys in this weight class. Um, he's coming at the same height as Mario Bautista, but he's gonna be a little bit longer as far as the reach goes. Um, and he fights long. He has a long jab. He is very very unorthodox. He's one of the stranger styles that you see in MMA. He's not very technical in his boxing, but he'll strike from all sorts of angles, and he's got a lot of power in his shots. Mario Batista on the other side, I mean, I was on Haywatch for Batista when he fought Patchy Mix because I was like, wow, I thought Patchy was gonna be great, and you just made him look like shit. I fucking hate you, Batista. But then he fought Umar, and I was on Haywatch. I said Umar was going to handle him. Umar just went to a decision with him. It was a 3-rounder. Um, you could say it was maybe close, but Umar did kind of handle him in that 3-round bout. Um, you're getting a totally opposite fight here. You're not going to see Vinicius Oliveira fucking wrestling with you. He's coming to take your head off. Mario Batista, he does have some good striking. He likes to throw a good jab down the center. Um, but I don't know. I don't think you're gonna find Vinicius Oliveira there. Like I said, he's very unorthodox. You might not catch him on on straight shots. You're probably gonna have to catch him on counters over the side. He's gonna be cutting off angles. Um, I think the kicks are gonna be Mar Batista's weapon here. I think the weapons to kind of cut some of the movement off Oliveira is gonna be what you need to do here. But I think Oliveira's gonna handle business. I think if he does get caught along the fence, like I said, I think Batista might try and wrestle or keep the clinch tight just to keep him from moving around. But I think Oliveira's gonna do enough. I think he's gonna stay long. I think he's gonna find the power shots. And I agree with Z. I think it's the 5-round bout. We could be seeing a finish out of Oliveira. If not, I see a pretty strong scorecard for Oliveira in this one. I see him moving up into the top of the bantamweight. And let's see where Oliveira would land. Because Oliveira right now is ranked
9.
9. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
okay, so this is bantamweight. Let's see. Um who would be a good
Oh no,
fight?
he's ranked 11 actually.
11.
Flip that.
11.
He's ranked 11 and Bautista is ranked 9.
Okay. You have to win. If a win over Batista, I think Cheeto Vera's already booked. Figgy just lost. You could fight Figgy. I would kind of hate to see a fight against Figgy. It's kind of a lame fight. It'd have to be something fun. Like Zahabi would be
He
fun
I
because
mean,
Zahabi's on a big win
he
streak.
could go up and fight Yadong.
Yeah, Song would be a fun fight.
Could.
Song would really give him the wrestling troubles. If Mario doesn't give him the trouble,
100%.
Song Yadong would give him the trouble. Um,
Yeah.
that'd be a fun one. Yeah, I think if he wins convincing enough, I think Song Yadong would be kind of the next guy up, next man up. Because Song Yadong has already been kind of, in my opinion, one of the more underappreciated bantamweights. I feel like he's always kind of getting the lesser matchups. Um, yes, he did get the Sean O'Malley matchup, but he lost. So I think he's going to go back to fighting some of the lesser opposition or some of the guys lower than him in the rankings. I think this will be the time that we see it. I think we'll see
Yeah.
Lock Dog come up and fight Song Yadong.
Yeah, 100%. But, at the end of the day though, I don't think this is going to be easy though for Oliveira.
Mm-mm.
I think Bautista, he's going to make it hard 100%, but I do stand with what I said. I think Oliveira can hurt him. I think he could put more investments into that, and then I think eventually towards the end of the fight, towards the later rounds, this is a 5-rounder, guys.
Mm.
I think Oliveira could really hurt him.
Yeah, and I think we'll really see where his gas tank really is. I mean, Oliveira's only been in 3-rounders. I don't recall him ever getting tired. I think even in his decision win over Saeed, he did look really strong in that. 5 rounds, we'll see. I think Mario's only been in. Has he had? He didn't have a 5 round. He hasn't had a 5 rounder, no. No, he's only got 3 rounders as well. So we'll see. We'll see where the guessings are in these 5 round bout.
Yeah.
I think once it gets in the later rounds, we'll see who really has the cardio here, and maybe it's going to be pretty decided on the scorecards, and one of them's going to need a finish. But that is it for our Tuesday episode, guys. Thank you guys for sticking around. If you did, if you skipped through it, no big deal. We'll put the timeline thing in for you. So if you want to skip around, just listen to the picks. We'll have those early on. Yeah, that's it for Tuesday. That's our picks, guys. Friday, like we said, Friday is where we're going to be hammering the bets, talking about lines, and getting you guys set up for hopefully some success. So far, Z and I are off to a pretty successful year as far as our record goes. You'll see that in our recap where we kind of went over that. But yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. We'll see you guys Friday. Stay cozy.
Stay cozy. Thank you guys for watching our videos.
Peace.
Peace.